Imagine a massive factory operating at maximum capacity.
Okay.
It is shipping hundreds of custom products every single day,
Right.
but the entire factory floor is completely empty.
Wow.
There is just one person sitting in a quiet office. They are sipping coffee. They are just calmly watching the system run.
Yeah.
That isn't some sci-fi pitch for 2050. That is a solo Etsy seller right now in 2026.
It is totally wild,
Mhm.
They handle these massive volumes of daily customer messages, and they pull it off without hiring a single employee.
Yeah.
The gap between working hard and working smart is widening, and that gap has a very specific name now.
Right. It is called AI workflows.
Exactly.
That means automated step-by-step systems where AI handles repetitive digital tasks for you. Welcome to this deep dive. I'm really glad you are here with us today. We are extracting the ultimate playbook from our sources.
Oh, yeah?
We are going to build your very first AI workflow.
It's huge.
We are mapping out a major career shift today. You will move from being an overwhelmed worker. You will become a system architect.
It is a fundamental shift in how we view work.
Yeah.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts, we really need to address the mindset.
Right. We have to understand why this shift is mandatory.
Exactly, because most people completely misdiagnose their daily stress. They think they have a workload problem. They actually don't. They have a system problem.
Yeah, the problem is relying on an outdated manual system.
Right.
You are trying to run a modern business with old habits. It just doesn't scale anymore.
No, it doesn't. And the traditional corporate answer to too much work was always predictable.
Yeah.
You would just hire more people.
Right.
But that reflex is incredibly expensive. It is also painfully slow. It assumes human effort is the only way to scale.
It makes me think of that old factory floor again.
Mm-hmm.
The reflex to just hire more people feels completely flawed now.
Yeah.
It is like adding more manual laborers to a factory floor.
Yeah.
You do that instead of just taking the time to build a conveyor belt.
Well, the factory floor analogy is really close.
Yeah.
But I'd actually argue it's even more extreme than that.
Really?
Yeah. You aren't just building a physical conveyor belt. You are building an intelligent routing system.
Ah.
It works around the clock without breaks. It literally never makes typos.
Right.
And it definitely doesn't need a weekly check-in meeting to stay motivated.
2-sec silence.
I
But if these tools are so readily available now, I have to ask, why are big companies struggling so much to actually adapt to this?
Oh, man. It really comes down to their sheer size and legacy.
Yeah.
Big companies just move way too slowly. They have these rigid processes built up over decades.
Right.
They have endless layers of approval for the smallest decisions. You have bloated departments dedicated to highly repetitive tasks. A well-built system could handle those exact same tasks in minutes.
So heavy bureaucracy kills innovation while small teams easily automate and win.
Spot on. Small teams use technology to close the execution gap entirely.
Yeah.
A nimble team of 3 can manage thousands of clients. They run complex campaigns without the massive corporate overhead.
Wow.
They're completely outmaneuvering the giants.
That naturally brings us to the learning curve, though.
Right.
People usually assume learning this takes a computer science degree.
Oh, that mental picture is completely wrong.
Yeah.
This is where the 20-hour rule comes into play.
Yeah.
You do not need a 4-year degree.
Okay.
You only need about 20 hours of focused, hands-on practice. That is enough time to build something truly functional.
So the biggest roadblock seems to be entirely psychological.
Right. And people delay because they want to understand everything first. You have to break that mental paralysis. You do that by simply opening ChatGPT or Claude right now.
Yeah.
Just ask it one single question related to your actual work.
You pick the daily task you dread the most.
Exactly.
You automate just the first tiny step over a weekend.
The moment you see a solid result in 3 seconds, something clicks.
Yeah.
You realize you are talking to a logic engine, not a calculator.
2-sec silence. So we know a conveyor belt beats manual labor every time.
Right.
But the next logical hurdle is figuring out where to lay the tracks. How do we objectively identify which parts of our day to actually automate?
Well, you have to audit your time meticulously.
Okay.
You cannot build an automated system if you work on autopilot. You need a brutally honest picture of where your minutes go.
The sources suggest a strict 2-day tracking method.
Yes. For exactly 2 days, you write down every single action.
Everything.
Everything. You update a client spreadsheet, you write it down. You message a teammate on Slack, you write it down.
You tracked all of it without filtering a single thing.
Do not filter anything at all. After 2 days, The hidden time sinks reveal themselves.
Yeah.
Patterns start emerging from the daily noise. You find these repetitive loops you do almost without thinking.
Then comes the 48-hour brain dump.
This part is crucial. You pour every task and lingering worry onto paper. Every small, no-name job that drains your mental energy goes down.
I have to admit something vulnerable here.
Okay.
I still wrestle with filtering myself during brain dumps, trying to organize things too early.
Oh, it is a super common trap. We always want to categorize the mess immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
But the goal here is gathering raw material. Think of this brain dump as generating the training data for your digital clone.
Right.
You need that raw data to see a critical difference. You must separate a job title from a specific task.
Yeah, I look at that distinction and it feels like a massive stumbling block. Why is separating the job title from the task the exact place where most people get stuck?
Because people falsely believe AI is meant to replace a whole human identity.
Oh, wow.
That idea is existentially overwhelming, you know?
Yeah.
They don't realize AI just handles individual repetitive microsteps inside that role.
Right.
Take customer service, for example. That is not one single job. It involves reading an inquiry, searching a database, drafting a reply, and logging the interaction.
AI doesn't steal jobs. It just handles the repetitive micro steps within them.
Precisely. Once you isolate those specific microsteps on paper, the whole process suddenly feels achievable.
2-sec silence. So we have isolated these micro steps from our time audit.
Right.
Now we actually have to teach the AI to execute them.
Yeah.
How do we do that without hitting a technical brick wall?
We do it by structuring our instructions with pure logic. AI thrives on clear sequential order. You set it up so step B only starts when step A completely finishes.
It feels a lot like stacking Lego blocks of data.
Oh, I like that.
You're just snapping logical, chronological rules together.
That is a great visual. But I'd add that it is about semantic logic, not coding syntax.
Right.
You are giving the AI boundaries.
Right.
The sources provide a great example for drafting customer emails.
The example sets up very clear, plain English rules.
Right. You tell the AI to act as a support assistant. You tell it to always use the customer's specific name, like Sarah. You demand simple language and bullet points for any pricing details.
Yeah.
And you explicitly forbid it from using any promotional marketing language.
You build the sandbox, and it plays within those borders.
Exactly. It understands the intent behind friendly but professional.
Right.
But eventually, every workflow hits a snag. A scary red error message appears on your screen.
People see red text and immediately assume they aren't technical enough.
They just freeze up entirely.
Yeah.
They abandon the whole project because they don't know the jargon to search for a fix. But the bypass here is actually the screenshot method.
I look at tech errors and my brain just shuts down.
Sure.
I always assume I need to know Python. You bypass tech jargon completely with a screenshot and a simple question.
You really do. AI vision models aren't just reading text anymore.
Wow.
They have spatial UI recognition. That means how AI visually maps out buttons and menus on your screen. It understands the actual interface of the software you are using.
So it sees the screen exactly like a human tutor would.
Yes. You completely eliminate the need to scroll through endless forum threads.
Thank goodness.
You just take a picture of the broken screen. You upload it to the AI. And literally ask, where should I click next?
That's amazing.
It recognizes the layout and maps the error to a specific button. Sponsor.
Automating a basic email response is a great parlor trick.
Sure.
It saves a few minutes here and there. But the real friction in a business isn't one single email.
No, it's not.
It is the massive interconnected beast of a whole department.
Yeah.
If our Lego block logic works for an email, how does it hold up against a full-scale marketing campaign?
Well, marketing is a massive operational drain for most businesses.
Right.
But the real drain isn't the execution of the work. It is the constant decision fatigue. It is waking up and wondering what to post across 5 different platforms.
With the right AI workflows, you build a unified content engine.
Yes. You start with just one single core idea.
Okay.
Then, the AI fundamentally expands that one idea into 5 native formats.
Wow.
It writes a casual hook for TikTok. It drafts a professional breakdown for LinkedIn. It writes an engaging newsletter, a Facebook update, and an Instagram caption.
Then you can integrate a tool like Gamma.
Oh, yeah.
Gamma is an AI tool building visual presentations instantly from your text.
Right.
You feed it those exact same key points. It generates a full slide deck with one click.
Whoa. Just imagine turning one single idea into 5 unique platform posts
Yeah.
and a presentation deck in literal seconds.
It completely eliminates the terror of the blank screen.
It cures it completely.
Yeah.
And this exact logic works for analyzing dense data, too.
Right.
Running digital ads without deeply reading the performance data is reckless. It is like driving down the highway with your eyes closed.
Exactly.
But reading raw data is incredibly tedious.
I always assumed data analysis required deep statistical knowledge. AI reads data patterns directly, protecting your budget without complex spreadsheets.
It absolutely does. The AI acts as your senior data analyst.
Wow.
You just export your ad performance numbers and paste them into the chat. It recognizes the hidden patterns instantly. It gives you a direct, plain English answer on which specific ads to kill.
That's incredible.
That stops wasted budget dead in its tracks.
No pivot tables, no formulas, and absolutely no guessing.
None. And this naturally evolves into the BYOA mindset.
BYOA. Bring your own agent. This is becoming standard practice right now in 2026.
It is. You literally walk into your job with your own team of virtual assistants.
Yeah.
These agents run in the background. One agent constantly summarizes your long PDF documents.
Right.
Another agent automatically drafts prep notes for your meetings directly into Notion. A third handles the complete first pass of your morning inbox.
The agents even negotiate and communicate with each other.
Right, they sync up. Your calendar agent tells your email agent you are busy, so it drafts a polite decline. You are no longer the bottleneck executing the daily grind.
You make the ultimate career shift.
Yeah.
You stop being the overwhelmed worker. You officially become the system architect.
That shift is what protects your career long-term. The jobs at risk aren't the highly complex ones.
Right.
They are the repetitive, robotic ones that require no real human judgment. When you build the system, you aren't competing with the AI. You are the one managing it.
2-sec silence. If we have these agents automating operations, marketing, and data, we have to ask a much bigger question.
Okay.
What is the actual role of the human being in 2026?
The role shifts entirely to growth and deep connection.
Yeah.
Every business on Earth wants stable profit and room to scale.
Right.
Traditionally, scaling meant taking on massive financial risk.
Yeah.
You had to spend a fortune on new staff and larger offices.
But AI workflows handle higher volume without that massive staff overhead.
Exactly. You achieve better profit margins simply by cutting the operational bloat. The budget that used to pay for repetitive manual labor becomes pure profit. Or, better yet, it gets reinvested.
This leads perfectly into what the sources call the barbell strategy.
But barbell strategy is brilliant. You hyper-automate the routine tasks in the middle.
Okay.
You want zero human touch on that end. Speed, scale, and efficiency live right there.
Right.
You strip out the operational friction entirely.
So you pour all those saved resources into the opposite end?
Yes. The other end of the barbell is deep, pure human value. It is the unautomatable stuff. It is real relationships, genuine care, and absolute trust.
Yeah.
No chatbot can ever build genuine community. Empathy lives on this side.
I hear that, but it feels like a paradox.
How so?
If automation handles all the operational heavy lifting, doesn't the value of actual human connection go down?
It is the exact opposite, actually.
Right.
Businesses use AI for the operational load specifically so they have the energy to care.
Oh, wow.
They use that save time and capital to show up fully for their clients.
Right.
Think about a local gym. If the AI handles the billing, scheduling, and lead follow-ups, the front desk staff can actually look you in the eye.
Yeah.
They can genuinely ask how your kids are doing.
Automation handles the robotic tasks so you can focus on real human connection.
Precisely. It doesn't isolate us. It buys back our humanity.
That's beautiful.
Now, people usually have a few practical questions before they dive into this.
Let's quickly cover those FAQs from the sources.
Sure.
What about the hidden catches, like software costs?
The financial barrier is incredibly low. You can literally start building workflows today for $0 using free versions.
Wow.
If you need deeper data processing, it ranges up to maybe $20 a month. Compared to hiring a part-time assistant is essentially free.
And we already established that absolute zero coding is required.
None at all. You just use everyday conversational language.
Yeah.
It really is just snapping those logical Lego blocks together using plain English.
There is one very critical warning about data privacy, though.
Yes, this is absolutely vital. You must never paste private passwords into any AI chat window.
Right.
Do not paste unmasked customer account numbers or sensitive financial data either. You have to use general names or mask personal details when generating your training data.
Security always matters, even when the interface feels conversational and friendly.
Always. Most enterprise tools have strict business modes now for higher security.
Yeah.
But you still have to be smart about what you upload.
2-sec silence. Let's pull all of these threads together.
Okay.
The ultimate takeaway from our sources today is wonderfully clear. You must stop doing the repetitive work that a digital system can do for you.
Exactly.
You must start focusing on the work that only you can do.
Yeah.
Transitioning from a stressed worker to a clear-headed system architect is the key. That is exactly how you survive and thrive in this new landscape.
Please don't wait on this. The barrier to entry is gone.
Right.
The tools are literally free. Open ChatGPT or Claude today. Ask it to help you with just one single annoying task on your list. Break that mental loop right now.
We started this deep dive by talking about a massive growing gap, the divide between those working hard and those working smart. But if everyone eventually has these automated agents doing the operational busy work, what happens to our societal definition of hard work?
That's a huge question.
In a few short years, will we be hired solely for our empathy rather than our efficiency? Out to row music.